It was a beautiful day on the UConn campus and stores, but tonight the focus is inside Gamble Pavilion, where the 8th-ranked UConn Huskies women's basketball team takes on their conference rival, the DePaul Blue Demons, in what is a rematch of a very physical contest played just 2 weeks ago in Chicago. It's pink night. The students began coming in early. They're here to cheer on their Huskies, and they'll need it. A look back at that last game in late January. 8 seconds to go. UConn put the ball in the hands of freshman Caroline Ducharme, who drove to the bucket and scored the winning points with 1.6 seconds left to go in the game. 80-78, just 2 points between these two teams. The Blue Demons' hearts broken on their home court. They come here to Stores tonight looking for revenge on the Huskies. UConn will have to hold on to that advantage tonight without two key players from that game. The freshman Caroline Ducharme will miss a third straight game tonight, and Olivia Nelson-Adota, the senior post presence for the Huskies, will miss her second consecutive game with an injury described to us by Gino Auriemma as a groin injury. And with all of that, we say hello from inside Gamble Pavilion with Megan Culmo. I'm Alan Bestwick. So a 2-point win with Caroline Ducharme and with Olivia Nelson-Adota. Without both of those players tonight, how do the Huskies beat DePaul?
That's a very good question. I think the best way to describe it is the whole has to be greater than the sum of its parts. Not just one player or two players is going to step up to replace what they've lost. And remember, they're still not playing with Paige Beckers, the best player, one of the best players in the country. So tonight, listen, everyone's got to do their part, play as a team, execute offense. We saw a lot of standing around against Villanova the other night. Play together, set screens, play good defense, and box out. And
they're going to have their hands full with the player that is probably going to be Big East Freshman of the Year, maybe Big East Player of the Year, maybe a good candidate for National Player of the Year. That's DePaul's freshman, Anissa Morrow. What does she do so well?
Everything. This kid is unbelievable. It's so difficult to stop. She is so great when she gets the ball, gets to the basket so quickly. She uses her body so well. She's strong, she's quick, she's got a quick release. She has outstanding hands, terrific footwork. She does it on both ends of the floor. She is absolutely relentless, great positioning, a smart basketball player. She scores, she rebounds. She's going to be incredibly difficult to stop. They've got to do it collectively as a team.
Now you look at some of those numbers on the right. Those are national ranks. She leads the nation in double-doubles and offensive rebounds a game, and she hung 30 and 14 on the Huskies in that game 2 weeks ago. It's not overstating anything to say that that game at DePaul was chippy and physical. It should be a lot of fun tonight, especially with a big crowd here at Gamble. UConn and DePaul tip off live on SNY next. Great to be back on campus with the students back on campus. Big student section turnout here tonight. And it's going to be some kind of lively here inside Gamble Pavilion as UConn takes on DePaul in a game that has implications toward the conference championship. Huskies with 1 loss in conference play and Blue Demons with 3. How about this? On the line tonight, that streak of 1,043 games without back-to-back losses. The last 42 players to play for UConn weren't even born the last time the Huskies lost back-to-back games.
That is a crazy statistic.
Isn't that something? Gino Auriemma emphasized to us the importance of this game, winning the Big East Championship, one of the goals the team sets for itself at the beginning of the year. He is looking to see what he can do with this shorthanded squad tonight. You see that only 1 loss in his previous 16 seasons against unranked teams, 3 this year so far. DePaul comes in unranked. But Doug Bruno, in his 36th year as the head man at DePaul, has his squad playing well. That bottom line, though, one thing he'd certainly like to change. Tonight's starting lineups presented by Subaru of New England. On the right, the starting 5 for UConn: Yule, Williams, Fudd, Juhas, and Edwards. The starting 5 on the left for DePaul. They have their own injury problems. The senior Sonia Morris, worth 18 points a game, will not play tonight. Turned an ankle against Providence in their game last Sunday, and she is out. So it'll be Church, Collier, Held, Rogers, and the freshman Morrow for the Blue Demons. That man wants to win over UConn, something bad.
Pretty bad, yeah. Very competitive.
Dorky Juhas and Anissa Morrow to tip it off. UConn wins the tip, but it's 1-2 DePaul. Kiera Collier has the first shot right into Deja Church, they'll have to reset. And the timer never started at the start of the game, so the first shoulder shrug from both coaches.
Not a great way to start the game.
Yeah. And Gino knows his team faces a very tough test tonight as they try and sort out the scoreboard. Our officiating crew tonight, Karen Prieto, Belani Spurlock-Welsh, and Mike Forsberg. And they'll take 7 seconds down and set it at 9:53 with 24 to shoot for DePaul. So again, Anissa Morrow, she wears 24. She's fighting for position in the paint. And now the shot clock didn't go, but the game clock is running. So we're having some troubles here. I mean.
Now he's aggravated.
How about the officials? You think they're aggravated too? You mentioned in our open, Meg, that Huskies were going to need a big game out of AZ Fudd, like they've gotten from her the last 2.
She looks more and more comfortable every game, doesn't she? I mean, came up big in that win against Tennessee and then had some big numbers late in the game against Villanova. Just wasn't enough.
Oh, my goodness. Might have to go to the stopwatch here in a minute, huh?
Why don't we just start over?
So they're going to send both teams to their benches, and does that Control-Alt-Delete thing work on a scoreboard?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Turn it off, turn it back on.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Well, so the pink game tonight, the Play for K game tonight, you see all of the pink around the arena. Did a nice moment just before the tip-off where they asked everyone in the arena who'd been affected by cancer in some way, either thought it themselves or had a loved one they lost to it or who had suffered from it, to put the flashlight on their cell phone. And it was great perspective on just how pervasive this nasty disease can be. So glad to see so much pink in the arena tonight.
And the official came over, Karen Prieto came over to say, obviously there's a malfunction with the clock. First, it's the game clock started and the shot clock didn't, and now neither one of them are working.
Yeah. Well, so we have a moment. Check this out. Talk about UConn trying not to lose back-to-back games for the first time since 1993. Look at this list of other top 10 teams in the AP current poll, and the last time they lost back-to-back games. Look at how many 2021s and 2022s are in there.
That's just a ridiculous statistic,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
for it to be back in 1993, the last time that this team lost back-to-back games, I mean, that just shows you their mental toughness and doing things the right way and just being really competitive.
Let's talk about the pressure on this team. Okay, so the consecutive conference win record fell the other night at 169. Now that back-to-back number stares them all in the face, doesn't it? How much pressure does that add to the squad?
I think it's more for people like us and people outside of the program to talk about. But to say that, to say that he doesn't ever think of it, I don't think he certainly doesn't operate in a way where it really matters to him. I think it's one of those stats where you'll look back years later and appreciate it even more. But I think he's almost to the point where let's just get over all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost a relief in a way that they finally lost a conference game. I don't know if you'd say that publicly, but they're so gaudy. It's just not realistic to play and live that way.
What he did say the other night post-game was, look, if you're winning all those games, it means you're not in a competitive conference. He said, we're bound to lose some. Losing is a part of basketball. And we know this Big East, one of the things that the others in the conference, like Doug Bruno and DePaul and Denise Dillon and Villanova, expected to happen with UConn coming into this conference is it would raise the level of all the others. And I think it's fair to say we're seeing that.
Absolutely, and it happened back in UConn's first tour through the Big East. And Val Ackerman, the commissioner, was here this afternoon talking to us about just that fact that UConn has elevated it. The conference is really good, and they could get anywhere between 3 and 5 teams in the NCAA tournament, and that's a great number.
That is. That is, and especially, you know, when you compare it to some other conferences we're getting, you know, in past years, the automatic being one of them. So, yeah, you know, and this road ahead for UConn after that loss against Villanova the other night. Here's DePaul in town tonight. Sunday they go to Marquette. A very difficult battle. Marquette, one of those teams you saw in that big knot with 3 conference losses chasing down the Huskies. And not only that, jockeying for positions on what side of the bracket in the conference championship tournament at Mohegan Sun they're going to be on. Yeah,
I mean, to play Villanova on Wednesday, which Gino did tell us that day at shoot-around, you know, there's just something about the way Villanova plays. And he goes, listen, if we're not careful, they're going to beat us. Yeah. And he kind of saw it coming. And you got to give credit to Villanova, but then to play that game and then 2 days later to have to play a difficult DePaul team, it's going to really stretch these kids. And, you know, there are a couple players down. Let's see how they respond. Let's see if this home crowd can get behind them.
Let's see if the clock will work right.
Yeah, most importantly, let's see if the clock will work.
Morrow and Uhas fighting for position. Right side of the paint. Kiera Collier. Calling for Darion Rogers, 21, to let fly a 3. That misses everything. Defended well by Aaliyah Edwards.
Bruno frustrated with that shot, but
sure,
you know, pretty good defense that time by UConn, but everything was so kind of messed up with the shot clock. Let's see what happens to DePaul's next time down.
Yeah, now people have to get a rhythm going in the game that are on the court. Handed to Fudd off the Uhas screen. Layup misses. Ball is out there. Aaliyah Edwards fighting for position. They are going to call a foul.
Really good effort there by Aaliyah Edwards to track down that ball. If you remember on Wednesday, it was Villanova tracking down all loose balls. Good job that time by the Huskies, in particular, Aaliyah Edwards.
Deja Church, the grad student from Southfield, Michigan, will get called for that foul for DePaul. Here's Mule driving, and it goes for the first points of the night. Quickly into Morrow at the other end, defended by Uhas. Shot missed.
Perfect defense by Uhas. Just stand there, stand your ground, hands straight up.
Aaliyah Edwards. Now Uhas, defended by Morrow, drives. Gets through the charging defender, held, and gets the bucket.
Well, that's a tough matchup for Morrow because Uhas can shoot 3s.
Shot missed. Uhas skies for the rebound. Aaliyah Edwards with the run. No, can't get the layup. No foul called. Kiera Collier with the ball for DePaul. Blue Demons known for pace, pace, pace. They chuck up a lot of 3s, including this one from their post player, Morrow, and it's good.
Not a huge 3-point shooter.
No.
It's not a big part of her arsenal. Only her 8th completed 3 on the season.
Pressure defense, something else DePaul is known for. They'll meet you out beyond the arc. They'll meet you as soon as you inbound the ball under your basket. Collision there. Edwards had the ball knocked from her, picks it up, and alertly goes to the rim, and it doesn't go.
Those are the buckets you want back. You got to make open layups.
Church will draw the foul call as she goes through to the bucket. Pretty alert by Aaliyah Edwards to pick up the loose ball, but that's what, second layup she had a chance to make?
Can you caption that face? We probably shouldn't.
No. AZ Fudd called for the foul. And so Deja Church will go to the line to shoot free throws. Church struggled against Connecticut for all the time she's played them in her career. Last year, 2-10 in both games. In the January game, just had 2 points, both on free throws, was 0 for 3 from the field. There's 2 points on free throws there. And again, the pressure by the DePaul defense. Huskies worked on that this morning in practice, and another clock problem. So you begin to wonder if it's the clock software itself or the coordination between the packs the referees wear on their belts and the clock, or what the issue actually is. But either way, we'll have another pause.
Doug Bruno very frustrated, and I can't blame him.
Don't have to wonder what he's thinking. All right, so Huskies have the ball with 25 to shoot. Morrow out on Edwards, the pass in to Uhas, and a nice bucket.
Good job by Uhas to get strong position down low, and a perfect pass from Edwards.
Edwards had Morrow out beyond the three-point line and floated that nice pass in. Uhas taking advantage of her size. Shot clock down at 10. Long pass to Held. Mule closes out. Here's Church on Uhas. Tries to kick to Collier over Edwards. No. Flood on the rebound, and the Huskies run. She'll stop and drain it.
UConn will pick and choose their spots to run.
3-point UConn lead. DePaul just 1 of 5 from the floor so far in the game.
UConn in a zone defense again.
Kristen Williams with the steal on the cross-court pass.
Really good anticipation by the senior Williams.
Rogers from the free throw line, no. Edwards can't control the rebound. Rogers gets another shot, kicks it out. Shot doesn't go from Collier. All the way out to Morrow. That catches the front of the iron, but an offensive rebound again for DePaul. Collier.
Gino Auriemma was irate over on the bench. This is 4 chances.
Lexi Held from way outside. This time, Fudd gets the rebound for UConn.
Really good hustle by DePaul.
Leah Edwards working inside against Rogers. Got it.
Such a smart play. Nice pass from Uhas. Really good work by Edwards, securing that spot down low.
An 8-0 run by the Huskies to start this last period of play. Almost halfway through one, UConn by 7. 12-5, Huskies, 5.5 to go, quarter number 1. A.Z. Fudd already on the board tonight. Maria Marino has more on the freshman. Her report presented by Toyota. Maria?
Thanks, Alan. A.Z. Fudd tells me the last couple weeks in practice, things are just clicking. Whereas before she was trying to memorize, now she says the stuff that coach says actually makes sense. So obviously a positive note for her. And she feels she is making the reads on her own now. Something else that's helped her is being forced to step up because she doesn't have time to think as much. She just has to play. That was a goal of hers when she came back from injury, to play with more freedom.
I guess that's how you know the game is slowing down for you a little bit, when what the coach is saying makes sense. Fudd has been big boost to this injury-decimated Husky team these last couple of games.
Boy, is she fun to watch play.
Isn't she, though? Here's Kiara Collier driving underneath, and a turnaround left-hander for the junior from Lee Summit, Missouri.
Yeah, but no help there. You can't let her turn the corner, but you got to get the post players down low to come over and stop her.
Fudd cuts the pass from Uhas just a little too far ahead. She saved it, but it goes into the hands of Morrow. Numbers for DePaul. Back to Morrow from Held. Nice pass, nice bucket.
Really pretty pass from Held.
Mule calls out the play for UConn. Uhas trying to get position inside on Rogers.
She was open, they missed her.
There's Kristen Williams. Nice pass from Aaliyah Edwards.
Aaliyah Edwards showing some great passing skills from the top of the key. Second
assist tonight to go with a couple of rebounds and a couple of points.
Yeah, smart back cut there by Williams while she was being overplayed on the wing.
35 Kendall Holmes into the game for DePaul with that shot. No. Look at that fight for the rebound.
What work by Kristen Williams. That was fantastic.
Fudd to Uhas. He gets tripped underneath, and they'll call out a turnover. So the Huskies, 5 of their last 5 from the floor. Look at the number on the left for DePaul. 1 of 8 from 3.
And Uhas, you saw her a moment ago rubbing her hands. She thought the ball was tipped. Good time to get her out of the game. She's been dealing with a bad ankle.
Just went down on the floor. Avina Westbrook into the ball game for the Huskies. Inside to Morrow on Edwards. Nice turnaround.
You just got to move your feet. Edwards has to just move her feet and don't let her get by you.
So quickly now, 5-point lead for the Huskies. Kristen Williams to the rim. No foul. Ball loose. Westbrook trying to get a hold of it. Tried to deflect it back off of Church for DePaul, but couldn't do that before it went out of bounds.
See, when she gets the ball in that low post, see how quickly she turns? Aaliyah Edwards was just standing still. You got to move your feet.
From the corner, there goes a made three for Kiera Collier.
They're not going to stop shooting.
So now 4 of their last 5 shots have fallen for the Blue Demons. Tie ball game. Westbrook flips inside to Edwards. That pass almost a little too lazy, but Edwards able to bring it in and put it in.
Well, it was deflected too, I think, by a DePaul player.
So Held made a run at it, but it was just enough to get there. Fight inside between Edwards and Morrow. Watch Morrow how hard she tries to get position on the inside.
She works so hard.
A kick to her on the outside. She'll drive. Good position there between Kristen Williams and Aaliyah Edwards.
That was good help by Edwards. Smart play.
Mule sets the feed, lets it fly for 3.
It's great when Mule can knock down her first shot. It does so much for her confidence and her team's confidence.
Good close out there by Westbrook. Church drives on Fudd. Left-hander no. Westbrook with the rebound.
Smart no foul by Fudd. That would have been 2.
Stress to the team in shoot-around today. Arms straight up. Make them shoot over you. If you bring the arm down, that's an indicator the officials are looking for contact. Williams behind the Edwards screen. No, Edwards left early, but she's got the ball now underneath and gets it up and in. What a great move from Aaliyah Edwards.
She's in a different zone tonight.
Isn't she? Another 7-0 run for the Huskies. That shot misses. Fight for the rebound. UConn comes away with it.
Kristen Williams doing a great job on the defensive glass.
Here's Fudd for 3. No, missed everything.
You don't see that very often. But the good thing about Fudd, she's got a short memory.
And a quick release. Confusion on defense.
Yeah, no communication.
There is Held, lets it fly. That was wide right, but Morrow with another offensive rebound.
How about that hand? Just one hand goes out and gets that ball.
That's the 3 fly. No, right in the hands of Mule under the glass. Flips it to Edwards and puts it up and in with the left hand.
Having some fun out there, Mule and Edwards.
9-0 run for the Huskies.
That was a great play by DePaul. That foul line is wide open. Just couldn't get the ball to fall.
Down to the final 30 seconds of quarter 1. Shot off the mark and knocked out of bounds off of Avina Westbrook. Wait, one official signals DePaul ball. One official says no.
My Forsberg had it. Yeah, my Forsberg overruled the call. Bruno not happy.
So it'll be UConn ball.
And the shot goes up. Westbrook goes to get it, and it was hit off of a Blue Demon player. It's a good call.
So a 20-second shot clock, and now less than 30 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Mule calling out the play. There's Uhas back into the game. Inside to a cutting Westbrook.
They are running a backdoor clinic here in this first quarter.
Largest lead of the ball game for UConn. Held, floats that one in as time expires on quarter number 1. UConn got out to a lead. DePaul came back. Then the Huskies hit 5 of their last 7 shots to be up by 9 at the end of 1. Aaliyah Edwards leading the way for UConn. 9-point UConn advantage as we get ready to start the second quarter. With Olivia Nelson-Ododa out of the lineup tonight, the presence of Dorka Juhas has got to be big.
Well, and I thought Juhas has played really smart basketball early on. Great recognition. There's no way Morrow can stay with her in the open floor. But how about the 6'5" against 5'11" in that low post? A terrific pass from Edwards and getting it done on the defensive end. Just hands straight out, making her shoot over top. At 6'5" with the outstretched arms, that's difficult to score over.
2 of 3 from the floor, 4 points, a couple of assists and a rebound for Dorka Juhas. And again, no Olivia Nelson-Ododa tonight, no Caroline Ducharme for tonight for UConn. Still no Paige Beckers for the Huskies. And DePaul without Sonia Morris and her 18 points a game, second on their squad in scoring. So here we go for the start of the second quarter. It is Mule, Edwards, Williams, Juhas, and Westbrook, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Anissa Morrow starts this second quarter on the bench. The freshman sensation. Juhas rolls, puts it on the floor, will get the bucket and the foul.
A lot of movement on the offensive end for UConn tonight, unlike Wednesday night. Good recognition. I like that back cut by Juhas. It was a really good pass from Westbrook.
Love the emotion, the energy.
Yeah, you don't often
Huskies
see it with
too.
these guys.
Yeah. So Dorka Juhas makes the added shot for the old-fashioned three-point play there. She was a game-high plus 16 in that matchup out in Chicago, January 26th. A defensive force in that one for sure. Let's check with Maria.
Hey, Alan, the emphasis in that last huddle was everybody getting back on defense and staying disciplined, keeping DePaul players right in front of them, making them settle for jump shots, keeping them out of the lane.
Bodies on the floor.
Yeah, right on cue. Really good defense there by UConn.
So a possession arrow will keep the ball in DePaul's hands.
Active hands by Westbrook. Caused the near turnover and then alternating possession. It's DePaul ball.
So 8 seconds to shoot for the Blue Demons. There's Morrow. Leads DePaul with 7 points so far in the game. Blocked. Hannah Purcell tried to go up with it. Aaliyah Edwards was there.
Shot clock violation, UConn ball.
Shot clock violation, UConn ball.
You know, Gino didn't love the fact that Church got around Edwards, but UConn swatted it, and it was a shot clock violation anyway.
So now the UConn lead at 12. Nice pass from Juhas to Mule, but she couldn't make the circus shot.
Yeah, she couldn't get her hand on the ball.
Here's Lexi Held, drives and kicks. Rogers, yes, for 3.
That's a tough shot by Rogers.
Darian Rogers, the only DePaul player in double figures when the two teams played here a season ago. And she gets the 3 there. Into Kristen Williams. Defended by Held. Shot too strong. Held drives right to the bucket. And they will call a foul underneath. I think they're going to say that Aaliyah Edwards was inside the restricted arc.
It was a light whistle. You could barely hear it.
So even though...
And Edwards, if you're going to come, right?
Get there hard.
Yeah.
So that's the first on Aaliyah Edwards. And here's Lexi Held, senior from Burlington, Kentucky. She's the glue for this DePaul team. She has been a fabulous player for Doug Bruno for 4 years.
What a great leader. What a great passer. 4th in the country. It's 6 assists a game. She shares the ball well, makes great decisions.
And gets a couple of free throws there. So Purcell will go out and Collier will come back in for DePaul. And they'll bring the full court pressure here on the inbound play for UConn. There's Fudd. Ball Ball knocked away from Edwards by Morrow. Saves it to Fudd. Huskies will reset. Westbrook for three. No. Used the whole rim, didn't fall through it.
Nice box out by Collier.
Here's held. Ball goes through the hands of Collier, but it goes out of bounds off UConn, and it will stay DePaul's basketball with 23 to shoot. Game back in Chicago was a wild game of runs. 8-0 run, 7-0 run, and that big 21-2 DePaul run. Right now, Huskies have had the better of the runs. That floater from Rogers missed, and Fudd was there for the rebound.
UConn has done a really good job of picking apart DePaul's defense and making them pay and cutting back door.
Edwards has it knocked away by Held, recovers and puts it in.
Edwards got away shuffling the feet, too.
Huskies' #1 bench coach and cheerleader, Paige Beckers. Pass thrown right to Kristen Williams. Here's Fudd on the run.
Yeah, that's a rare turnover there by Lexi Held.
Collier drives, cut off. Here's Church, cut off by Edwards. Far side, Rogers from way outside the three-point line. The shot was short, bodies on the floor. Juhas knocked down, and there'll be a foul as the ball goes up and in.
Yeah, Westbrook fouled Morrow. But if you're going to foul her, don't let her score.
First on Westbrook, second on the team.
Again, that's one of those.
That's just a nonsensical foul.
Keep the arms straight up, make her shoot over you. So Dorky Juhas will go out of the game. Nika Mule will come back in for UConn. And to the free throw line, the freshman sensation, Anissa Morrow, leads the nation in double-doubles, offensive rebounds a game, rebounds a game, second in the nation in field goals made, fifth in the nation in points, sixth in the nation in steals. Is there any more?
So I guess she's adjusted to college pretty well.
My goodness.
I just love how hard she plays.
She's quick, she's physical.
She's smart. She anticipates well.
And the college game was not an overwhelming adjustment for her either. Look at her going at Edwards here. Edwards put it on the floor and lost it. Kristen Williams gets it back. To Fudd. Here's Westbrook. No. Edwards for the rebound. They're going to call a foul on Aaliyah Edwards. That'll be her second.
Yeah, she pushed. She pushed the kid in the back.
I'd say the UConn coaches and the Gamble crowd don't agree with that, particularly the student section.
She's got to be smart right now. She's got two, Edwards.
Foul trouble is something the Huskies, the short-handed Huskies, cannot afford tonight. Here's Church, drives, the right-handed flip. She did that with her left hand before.
You know, Fudd can't let her turn the corner on that baseline.
So a 6-point UConn lead. As we come down to 6 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Edwards sets the screen for Fudd. She stops. That's going to be off.
It was a really good curl by Fudd. Just couldn't get the shot to drop.
Rebound was Morrow's. Westbrook gets a hand on the ball.
Look what I found.
Kristen Williams running but can't get the layup. Didn't get a foul call. There's Collier working on Williams.
Nice job not leaving her feet, Kristen Williams.
And the travel call.
But you know what? She missed that layup on the other end, but at least she came down in the defensive end, made a really smart play, didn't let the previous play distract her.
So with 5:19 to go in this quarter, Aaliyah Edwards will go to the bench with her 2 fouls. Juhas comes back in and gets the inbound pass away from Anissa Morrow. Will cut off there by Kendall Holmes. Williams kicks, Juhas for 3. Yes!
That's a big 3 for Juhas. UConn needed a little jolt offensively.
10 points for Juhas, 10 points for Edwards. Here's Holmes. Cut off. Church from outside. No. Loose ball will go right back to Holmes. Way outside Rogers. That one, Juhas will get good position on the rebound. Hits the floor again. She's been on the floor about 4 times tonight, but so far a tremendous effort from Dorka Juhas. Mule looking for posting up Juhas, and it's going to be a foul call on the floor as Morrow grabbed one of Juhas's arms. That'll be the first on Morrow. Dorka Juhas, 4 of 5 from the floor, including 1 for 1 from outside. Nine-point lead for the Huskies over DePaul, 4:20 to go. Quarter number 2, and Cuomo's Court Vision is brought to you by Yale New Haven Health.
This is a play. Here's Kristen Williams, okay? This will show you just outstanding hustle and not letting a previous play. Okay, so she misses the layup. Okay, fine, but watch her. Sprints back. She barely stays in frame, comes back into the lane, gets in there to play defense, stays in her stance, keeps her player in front of her, doesn't go for the ball fake, keeps the kid in front of her, forces the turnover. Just a really smart play by the senior.
Well, you talked about that tonight, in the absence of Caroline Ducharme and Olivia Nelson-Adota and Paige Becker's continuing absence, the sum was going to have to be greater than the parts. And so far tonight, all the parts individually have been playing well.
Yeah, and you know, the energy that UConn is playing with on the offensive end is a stark contrast to what we saw on Wednesday.
Yeah.
A lot of backdoor cuts because they're reading DePaul defensively is overplaying on the wings.
So Huskies inbound with a 20-second shot clock to work with and a 9-point lead. Mule defended by Morrow, floats it over to Westbrook, who drives and gets it. And a foul.
Yeah, that was a good call. I thought she got bumped in the air. It was a good finish in traffic while getting fouled.
So the junior Hannah Purcell, with her second foul, goes to the bench. And here is the 5th-year senior Avina Westbrook at the line for the Huskies. Missed that. Morrow gets the rebound. Nika Mule with the steal, and she'll draw the foul. Let's check in with Maria.
Yeah, Alan, in the 3 games before a right foot injury, Dorka Juhas was averaging 10 rebounds. She had 12 against DePaul last time, and that was by design. She told me after the Oregon loss, she learned the best thing she can do to help the team is be aggressive. That starts with going for every rebound to give herself putback opportunities and get going offensively. She also said being in the right spot, setting good screens, that'll open up shots for everybody, but it all falls under that aggressive mindset.
Juhas struggling with some injury problems of her own as Westbrook takes a shuffle of the feet and UConn turns the ball over. Of course, remember that Juhas missed a couple of games with a foot injury and has come back, played limited minutes in the first game she came back, but tonight she has been a force in her 3rd game back for the Huskies. Morrow loses control of it. It's picked up by Church.
Good help by Fudd.
Church kicks to Collier. Blocked. Kristen Williams.
Smart D by Williams. I tell you, Collier is really difficult. At 5'6", she's tough to keep in front. Nice block there by Williams.
And Mule will knock the inbound pass away. It'll still be DePaul basketball, and they'll have to adjust the clock again because a little more time ran off the shot clock after the ball went out of bounds. Of all the things you're facing when you're facing UConn and Gamble.
Yeah, you don't want to have to face the clock, too.
Yeah. All right, so they'll set it up so a 5-second shot clock remaining for DePaul. Blue Demons have turned the ball over 3 times in the last 2 minutes and 54 seconds, and they have not scored in that period. Rebound, it'll be knocked away by Westbrook, and now it'll be 4 to shoot. Remember, DePaul is the nation's leader in points per game. And this Husky defense is grinding on them in this first half.
Yeah, and assists as well. They do a great job of sharing the ball.
Church throws it up over a double team. That'll be a shot clock violation and put a fourth turnover in this last 3 minutes of game on the DePaul side of the score sheet. But Bruno is talking to Anissa Morrow. And apparently the play that was planned was not executed.
In the right spot. So Gino at least can feel good that he's not the only coach who has to deal with that.
Yeah. 11-point UConn lead. Morrow out on Uhas. Williams cuts. Held gets a hand on the ball. That'll go off of a foot, and it'll be UConn's ball with 10 to shoot. Clock at 5. Westbrook drives. No. Good crashing the boards again from Anissa Morrow.
UConn struggling with layups here in the first half.
Held kicks to Church. Too strong. Kristen Williams ahead to Westbrook. And another DePaul timeout.
Uncharacteristic, sloppy play on the offensive end for the Blue Demons. You got to give credit to UConn for playing really tough defensively.
8th DePaul turnover to 2 for UConn in this game.
You know, active hands, that's what created that fast break opportunity. Kristen Williams being active and doing a good job of helping defense.
Here are a couple things also. DePaul shoots 46% from the floor on the season. They're at 29 tonight because of the UConn defense. They shoot 35% from 3. They are 19% tonight. 3 for 16 for 3.
And you see how exasperated Doug Bruno is because his team is not playing the way they're used to playing.
So
and UConn has taken advantage of it over these last 2.5 minutes with that 7-0 run.
This is kind of how a bunch of the first half played out January 26th in Chicago, though. And then DePaul went on a 21-2 run.
20-2, yeah.
So Huskies have to keep the intensity up and not fall off here in this last 2.5 minutes.
With the way DePaul plays and the way they shoot threes, you can never rest.
There's Church. That 3 is off, and Mika Mule with the rebound. Pushing pace. Kicks to Fudd. Steps back. 3-0. Too strong. Morrow with the rebound. In an off first half for DePaul, Morrow's already almost at a double-double. Here's Rogers working on Mule. Underneath, no. Bounces it off the bottom of the rim. .424 off the scoreboard. 5 turnovers, no points in that time for DePaul. Mule to Uhas for 3. Yes! Second made 3 for the grad transfer, Dorka Uhas.
Pumped her fist, running back court. Back to the defensive end. Dorka Uhas is playing the game at a different level right now.
Best game of the season for Dorka. Here's Rogers. Tosses it inside. Morrow gets the double team. Kicks it back out to Church. That goes for 3. Deja Church gets on the board and breaks that long dry spell for DePaul. Gary and Kara coming up with the UConn women's basketball halftime show presented by Duncan. Less than a minute of game time away. A lot of highlights for the Huskies in this first half. Uhas gets away from Morrow. To Mule, to Fudd, no. Westbrook tries to get the rebound, was early on her jump. That's going to be out of bounds off of DePaul. UConn basketball.
So for Blue Demons, number 35, Kendall Holmes. Number 21.
So 35.7 to go in the quarter. 20-second shot clock for UConn. And again, given the absences in their lineup tonight, both ends of the court, Huskies have played really well. 7 percentage points ahead of their average of shots from the floor in this first half, their season average. As Uhas spins, under, No. Battle for the rebound. And Westbrook's going to get called for reaching in. That'll be her second.
Senseless foul there. It was good hustle. Morrow did a good job getting the ball. Just go back and play defense.
Now, remember you talked about how many double-doubles in a row for Anissa Morrow? We're not even at halftime yet. She's got 10 points and 10 rebounds.
And I think UConn did a pretty good job trying to take her out of this game.
5 seconds to go. Held on Mule. Gets inside. That'll be knocked away. It'll be DePaul basketball with 2.7 to shoot.
Held tried to draw that foul on Mule. She didn't bite.
Held with Westbrook guarding. Did not get the shot away. And had a hand on it too. Could you have asked for this first half to go any better for UConn than it went?
Gino's shaking his head. He might disagree. Let's see. Hey, Gino, a terrific half defensively. Did you think coming in with, you know, some personnel issues still plaguing your team that you'd hold DePaul to 29 points?
No, they're just a really hard team to play defense against, and you just got to work all the time. And you know, we did. That was one of the better halves we've had defensively in a while, and you know, and our offense has been generating some good shots, and so I think it was really good at both ends. You know, we're a little bit tired though. You can tell we've had a lot of guys play a lot of minutes, so. Hopefully we can hang in there the second half.
Well, you got to be happy about the play of Dorka Juhas. I thought she gave you a great lift on both ends of the floor.
She did. She did a great job defensively, keeping that kid away from the basket. And anytime she can make a couple threes, you know, obviously, you know, that opens up a lot of things because they're not going to come out there and guard her generally. So I thought it was really, you know, considering we didn't get, you know, hardly anything from Azzi, who's been playing great. So, and I think we got a little bit left in the second half, I hope.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's the UConn side of things. A minute ago, Maria caught up with Doug Bruno.
Coach, Anissa Morrow already has a double-double, but what else do you need from your team?
We need our team to understand that they are playing against one of the better teams in the nation. And they're not just going to be able to come down the floor and play gym class basketball.
More specifically on offense, anything?
That's pretty specific.
Okay, thank you, Doug.
Gym class basketball, there you go. Dorka Juhas has been playing UConn class basketball in this first half. She leads the Huskies with 13. Gary and Kara next with the halftime show. Teams return to the court with the Huskies up by 13 as the top two teams in the Big East, according to the preseason coaches poll, picks square off for the second time this season here at Gamble. With Megan Culmo, I'm Alan Bestwick. Well, Huskies scoring above their season's average to this point in the game and holding DePaul well below theirs. Let's talk about the UConn offense. They lit it up in the first half.
They did, and the key, and we didn't see this on Wednesday in their game against Villanova, they moved so well with and without the basketball. They got backdoor cuts. You know, DePaul comes out and overplays. UConn, great patience, great timing. I thought they did an outstanding job. Aaliyah Edwards made a ton of great passes, as did Dorka Juhas there. The nice pass to and the nice backdoor cut of Avina Westbrook. Juhas with the nice cut there, got the roll, and you see the emotion, which we don't often see with this team. They shared the ball really well, too, Alan.
Hey, take a look at some of the numbers from inside the first half. Look at the assists. Look at the paint points with the presence of Anissa Morrow in there. And DePaul being held to well below their season's average from long range. That's one of the hallmarks of the DePaul team is that three-point shooting. Not so far in this one.
And think about it. DePaul has 29 points. They average 90 a game. But the thing you always have to be mindful with Doug Bruno's teams, I tell you what, you got 20 minutes, watch out, because they will come out and as if it's 0-0.
They will start right away with some up-close defensive pressure as the Huskies inbound the ball to start the second half.
Think about it. UConn has this lead, and AZ Fudd has not done much.
Here's Aaliyah Edwards, blocked by Morrow. Yeah.
I like the quick take there by Edwards, too, though. It was just a really good defensive play by Morrow.
Fudd 2 of 8, 0 for 4 from 3 tonight, but remember, she got a lot of her points against DePaul in the second half in that game at Chicago. There's Mule. Yes.
Nice ball movement there by UConn. The nice soft touch by Mule.
What can the Blue Demon offense do against what has been a very stingy Husky defense so far tonight?
Well, they jack up threes. If they start knocking them in, it'll be a long 20 minutes for UConn.
Nobody challenged. Lexi Held got her own rebound, but missed the putback. Williams sets the feed. Too strong. Juhas skies for the rebound. Up, and she'll draw the foul.
Juhas continues to impact this game. There, the nice offensive rebound and draws the foul. There's no box out. DePaul had inside position, but they didn't box out.
UConn without Olivia Nelson-Adota and Caroline Ducharme tonight, so the presence of Dorka Juhas and the impact she's had on this game so far is huge.
Imagine when those two young ladies come back to play. Wow.
Doug Bruno, the DePaul coach, said to me when I spoke with him yesterday, he said, look, when they get healthy and they get everybody back, nobody's going to want to play them.
Very true.
Held over Aaliyah Edwards. No. Morrow pushes Juhas out of the way and gets it up and in. Lisa Morrow with 11 rebounds and 12 points to lead the way for DePaul in this game. No surprise that. Edwards. Now Williams. No call. Picks it up. No. Right to Dorka Juhas. She can't draw the foul. Nobody there to box out Aaliyah Edwards, and she'll get fouled on the way up by Morrow. From that, a couple of offensive boards.
Yeah, I mean, I know Gino's frustrated with the number of layups that they keep missing, but the more positive look at it is that they got 3 looks at that possession.
So the second foul on Anissa Morrow. And here's Aaliyah Edwards, who is playing herself with 2 fouls, but again, talk about being impactful on this Husky team in the first half was.
Edwards, who was very quiet in the first part of this season, has come on of late, and this, I think, is her best basketball that she has played this season. More energy. She's knocking down shots. Hey, she made the only 3 she took against Tennessee on Sunday, but she just is playing with more confidence and more effort and more energy.
Inside tomorrow, ball on the floor. They're going to call a foul, and they're going to call that on Edwards.
Beckers wants a walk call. I can't disagree with her. And Edwards, I thought, did the right thing. I mean, I didn't think she fouled her. It's a nice pass, great catch. And they're saying maybe she bumped her down.
Shot from the corner misses everything, but it goes off of a DePaul player under the basket, and it'll be UConn's ball. That was Rogers.
Lexi Held is having a rough night. And the senior from Kentucky is one of their best players. Doug wants her to sit down, take a minute, regroup, and go back out.
That DePaul defensive pressure. Kristen Williams will handle the ball in the center of the court. You mentioned Held. She shoots 44% from 3. She is 0 for 5 from 3 tonight and 1 of 9 overall. Williams drives, got cut off, turns around, and it goes.
She's been so good of late in creating some offense, some one-on-one opportunities. So crafty with the ball.
6 points for Williams so far in this one. Here's Deja Church driving on Fudd. That's a nice play by Church.
I thought Fudd defended it pretty well. Just a really good play by Church.
Fudd tries to work off the Edwards screen. Now Uhas, top of the key, into Edwards, up and in with the left hand.
Nice quick release too by Edwards. It was another good pass from Uhas.
We thought that Edwards had her best game of the season at Tennessee last Sunday. I think this is surpassing that even.
Without a doubt.
That is Kendall Holmes with the bucket, the sophomore from Plainfield, Illinois. Had an Achilles injury last January and missed most of last season and the summer. Doug Bruno said is just kind of getting back into basketball shape, but it's good because the Blue Demons are missing Sonia Morris tonight, their second leading scorer. Here's Edwards, looked up to see where the defense was before she had the ball in her hands.
Yeah, just went a little too quickly. She was open too.
14 points for Aaliyah Edwards, 6 of 9 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And again, the 3 fouls she's also playing with. Ball on the floor. Morrow led with the arm, no call. Aaliyah Edwards sent sprawling.
Yeah, that easily could have been an offensive foul.
The no-look pass from Mule to Uhas for the bucket. Here's Morrow between defenders, up and in.
She is so good using her body to spin around defenders. She's only a freshman.
It's bad news for the rest of the Big East.
And country.
So Dorka Uhas with a new season high in points at 17. Here's Williams, too strong, and it just hung on the rim. And Uhas flew right past it, trying to get position. Church. Big steps, and gets it.
Good patience by Church, and Fudd had kept her feet on the ground and then just went for it. Made that critical mistake.
14-point Husky lead. That one around and out from Uhas. She's already made 2 from long range tonight. So DePaul has hit 4 of their last 5 shots. Here's Church again. Fudd gets a hand on the ball and takes it away. Williams ahead of the pack. And good hustle back by Kiera Collier to knock it away from Williams and out of bounds.
I was just going to say, UConn looks tired right now, but a savvy play by the freshman Fudd, and then quickly giving it up before she got called for a walk.
Uhas driving hard and in. Signature game in a UConn uniform for Dorka Uhas. Rogers blocked by Mule.
You don't say that very often.
The kick to Fudd. For 3, no.
Uncharacteristically way off is Fudd from long range tonight.
Edwards knocks the ball away. Morrow hits the floor.
She got away with a foul, too.
Definitely. And Edwards to the other end, puts the bucket up and draws the foul.
This is the most emotion and energy I've seen out of Edwards in her entire career here.
And matches the energy in the building from a full student section and a great crowd on hand at Gamble. Aaliyah Edwards with a new season high in points, 16. The steal, court to court. And the celebration. Huskies by 18. Statue of a good boy outside of Gamble Pavilion, where the Huskies are having their way with DePaul thus far, but a long way to go in this one. UConn by 18 midway through quarter number 3. You mentioned we don't hear Nika Mule about blocks much. She's got 2 blocks, a career high tonight, leading to those turnover numbers you're looking at there.
UConn taking advantage more so than DePaul.
With the absence of Olivia Nelson-Adota tonight, how much did UConn need that kind of performance from those 2?
We've talked all game about how they collectively have to do it. Well, that's what you need. You just need a couple players to step up and do it. They don't have to do anything Herculean or outside of what they're capable of. Instead of 7 points, 19, that's a nice jump, but they're capable of that all the time.
Olivia Nelson-Dota missing her second consecutive game. An injury Gino described to us this morning at shoot-around as a groin injury. And so here's Aaliyah Edwards, 16 points, 7 of 10 from the floor so far. And 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Now 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and only 1 turnover. Darian Rogers looking for Morrow. Hit the bottom of the backboard.
Really good help there by Mule. Westbrook got caught on Morrow with the switch. Good team defense.
And going to be a foul as, I think that's going to be the third on Morrow as she tripped Aaliyah Edwards as she went by, sort of.
That could be a little frustration, and the problem is it's right in front of the official.
Yeah. So that is the third on the fabulous freshman, who by far leads the way for DePaul tonight with 14 and 13.
And Bruno is frustrated, screaming at the officials because on the other end, Edwards got away with a pretty good foul.
Mule to a wide open Williams. No. Edwards fights for the rebound. Fudd. It already hit the end line. And it's going to be UConn basketball off DePaul. So Lexi Held comes back into the ball game. Anissa Morrow will go to the bench with 3:49 to go in the third with her 3 fouls. And UConn with its largest lead of the ball game at 19. Mule. No. Kristen Williams in there fighting for the rebound. And that is going to be off of a DePaul player and be UConn basketball.
What hustle by Williams to keep this offensive possession alive.
So a third crack at it on this possession for UConn. Williams takes it all the way to the rim.
Smart take by Williams. Didn't need much room.
Collier cut off by Westbrook. They'll go to Rogers. On Edwards, gets her in the air. Nice kick underneath to a driving Church for the bucket.
Pretty offensive possession by DePaul.
Stops a UConn 7-0 run and a 2-minute, 12-second scoring drought for DePaul. Kristen Williams again, that for 3. First made 3 of the night for the senior. Church, cut off by Edwards, now throws it over, and it goes up and in. Deja Church beginning to provide some scoring for someone else besides Anissa Morrow for DePaul. She's now their leading scorer at 15. Williams off the Edwards screen. No. Goes down.
Williams is just in a different zone. What a nice read. Held, played behind it. The bench is up and loving it. A lot of great energy tonight from the Huskies.
Darian Rogers called for the foul, her first. So here is Kristen Williams to the free throw line, 11 points. And certainly a vital part of the defense that the Huskies have played tonight. Her energy has been really good on the defensive end of the floor.
Man, she's come alive here offensively in the second half.
1 of 2 on that one. Rogers with the rebound for DePaul.
But Kristen Williams has just had a very steady year on both ends of the floor.
Fudd gets the steal, is cut off.
It was a nice job by Fudd, just keeping her hands up in the passing lane.
Rogers working on the freshman Fudd. Is held 10 to shoot. Collier cut off. Good defense by Mule. Rogers cut off. And the timer will hit 0. Without a ball going toward the basket for DePaul.
It's been that kind of night for Bruno and his team. They didn't even know the shot clock was about to expire.
So full court pressure coming from DePaul. 1:58 to go, quarter number 3. UConn's done a nice job with that full court pressure, and what a pass and what a bucket.
And that's one way to make DePaul take the pressure off, is you get a layup against it.
Aaliyah Edwards on the assist from Mule. Williams missed the steal attempt, held, kicks it to Morrow, who's back in the game. That'll miss. Fudd on the rebound.
Nika Mule got hurt. She seems okay.
As physically as she plays, she takes a hard knock about every game. Gets up, shakes it off, and keeps going. Ball on the floor.
And there she turned it over.
That'll be just her first turnover of the night. She's credited with it. And it is. Here's Deja Church. Over Edwards to Morrow.
What a good pass from Church.
Minute to go in the third quarter. Huskies' largest lead was 23. They lead by 21 now. And a timeout by UConn. A lot of players playing a lot of minutes. 21 is your lead with 51.9 to go in quarter number 3. There's your score by quarters. And Aaliyah Edwards has been leading the way for UConn on the scoreboard tonight, along with Dorka Juhas.
Well, Edwards, I thought, has done such a good job all game of reading the defense, had the defender on her high side with a nice finish, and then here doing a good job of going for the ball and then quickly releasing and scoring, even running the break and finishing, getting fouled. She's made all 3 of her free throws here tonight, too. I haven't seen this much energy on this kid in a year and a half, but she's tied for the lead at 19 in the game, shooting 8 of 11 from the floor. Incredibly efficient night.
And the Huskies taking advantage of the paint points tonight. 46 to 24 points in the paint for UConn. Edwards and Juhas doing most of the damage there.
And if you had said that, knowing that Olivia Nelson-Ododa wasn't going to be playing, I don't know if I would have believed it.
And Anissa Morrow is. Williams cut off by Held, but spins inside with the right hand.
What a finish inside by Williams. Nice job reading the defense.
Kristen Williams coming alive on the scoreboard in the third quarter for UConn. Here's Darion Rogers from way outside over the outstretched hand of Dorka Juhas.
That's where DePaul is so dangerous, because they will jack a 3 at any time.
And they're good at it. Ten points this quarter for Kristen Williams. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And that doesn't go. And that is how quarter number 3 is going to end, with UConn leading DePaul by 20. They beat DePaul by just 2 weeks ago in Chicago. They come into the night without Olivia Nelson-Ododa and Caroline Ducharme. And Paige Becker's still out. And the Huskies showing great energy and effort on both ends of the floor to lead after 3 by a bunch. There's Rebecca Lobo's number hanging in the rafters here at Gamble Pavilion. Our fan choice poll tonight from Duncan asked you which former Husky should be the next to have their number retired. Your answer is, by a little bit, Sue Bird over Diana Taurasi. Good call, you think?
That's a tough one. I don't know. It's splitting hairs.
Yeah. Well, they'll all be there eventually, right?
Exactly.
Let's check out our game reset presented by Ford. DePaul is a team that scores 90 a game. They lead the nation. They barely got to half of that in 3 quarters of this one. Anissa Morrow has her 18th straight double-double. But look at the points in the paint in that lower left-hand corner with no Olivia Nelson-Ododa.
And that's crazy that UConn's got 48 points in the paint. DePaul's got 49 points overall.
It's unbelievable. DePaul leads the nation in assists. They have exactly 8 tonight on their 19 made field goals.
Let's not forget they're also missing Sonia Morris, their great guard, who's out with an injury.
Morris is their second leading scorer, and she's worth 18 a game. That's Held, still having her struggles tonight here at Gamble.
What work inside by Aaliyah Edwards.
Juhas will get fouled. She'll be held by Darion Rogers.
And they were late getting her the ball. She was open for a while.
There's Sonia Morris. Came down on an ankle in their last game last Sunday at Providence. 6 minutes into the game. She already had 9 points in those 6 minutes.
It's a huge loss to not have her. She's not only a great scorer, but a great leader and facilitator on this team.
Seated to her left on the bench is Diva Kelger, who also hasn't played in a while, who's kind of like their sixth man, and a good one. Look at the pass and the putback.
Terrific look from Westbrook. Dorka Juhas still working so hard in that low post.
Juhas and Morrow having a shoving match for position there. Here's Morrow. Juhas straight up arms, got the block.
Terrific read there defensively by Juhas.
Off the Mule, trying to get it back to Juhas, and Lexi Held read it all the way. 2-on-1 for DePaul. Rogers over Westbrook. No! Mule comes back and gets the rebound.
Smart play by Mule to slow it down a bit here.
Looking to set a screen for Mule. Shot clock at 7. Mule tosses it up. No, but then gets fouled. Darion Rogers going to pick up her third after just running into Nika Mule, launching the long-range shot, and Rogers just walked straight to the bench.
And those are the senseless fouls that drive coaches crazy. Like, why are you fouling her? Maybe Nika was a bit dramatic, but there was contact.
I think Darion Rogers thought she was being yanked out of the game, but she gets sent back in, and it's Stasia Church who goes to the bench. Kendall Holmes comes in. And so she was inside the arc, but Nika Mule will shoot 2 shots. Or will she? They're going to say that was after the shot, back on the floor, so UConn will inbound from the side, and the timekeeper will call for some assistance on what to do with the shot clock. 20-second shot clock.
Doug is shaking his head like, are you serious?
So Huskies will inbound now with 8.5 to go in this fourth quarter. Edwards gets the double team. Call for a travel. Or she turned over. Either way, it's a turnover.
She was, 3 seconds. She was in the lane a little too long, but I like how hard she worked for the ball.
71-49, a 23-point lead for UConn, their largest of the ball game. Here's Morrow from outside, way over everything, and Holmes is going to run in, catch the errant ball, and get fouled on her way up.
See, that's why when the shot goes up, if you're on the opposite side like Kristen Williams was, you have to see. Now, that was badly defended. 2 kids running at the ball, but you see, Kristen didn't even see the kid coming from behind her. You got to know, you got to look for a blue jersey and box out.
So Kendall Holmes, former All-State player in high school, back in the lineup last Sunday at Providence in a significant way, again recovering from an Achilles injury suffered a year ago, January. Missed the free throw, and the lead is 20. Casey Flood to the scoring table to check in. Westbrook cut off. Almost threw it behind Williams, who was trying to cut. Shot clock at 10. Williams gets the screen from Edwards. The right hand, backhand flip off the boards.
Another good read by Williams.
And Westbrook steals the inbound pass, and it goes. And a DePaul player down on the floor. Is that Darion Rogers? Some contact in the fight for the inbound pass. And Nicole Schultz, the athletic trainer for DePaul, along with Doug Bruno, out to have a look at the sophomore while the teams head for their respective benches. Rogers looking to have the teeth looked at.
So it might have been Westbrook's left elbow. What a smart steal by Westbrook. Right there it was. Incidental contact.
So timeout on the floor, and the officials discussing at the center court line. Don't know if they'll go to the monitor to review that or not, but in the meantime, There is a timeout with UConn leading by 24. 7.5 to go here at Gamble Pavilion. The Hall of Fame coach Gino Auriemma mic'd up, talking about the process of building toward the Big East tournament and the NCAA tournament and the team's ultimate goals.
And I tell you, they're looking pretty good. I never would have thought that they would play this well tonight without Caroline Ducharme, without Olivia Nelson-Ododa. You know, they've been without Paige Beckers for a long time. They look terrific tonight.
Isn't this everything that was missing the other night against Villanova, right? We saw it against Tennessee. The result was a win, a top 10 win. As you look at the scoring leaders on the night tonight, Juhas and Edwards, points in the paint, heavily in favor of the Huskies. But isn't this everything that was missing against Villanova the other night?
Absolutely.
So DePaul trying to get something going out of the timeout. Juhas facing up, and the ball is stolen. Westbrook got a hand on it.
Nice help defense there by Evina Westbrook.
So Morrow has it taken away from her. 16 and 14 for the freshman leader of this DePaul team. Fudd, guarded by Holmes. Here's Juhas with a nice pass, but couldn't be handled, knocked away. It'll be UConn ball with 15 to shoot. I think that was Holmes got a hand on it. Couldn't quite see from this angle. That'll be a travel by AZ Fudd.
Yeah, she just shuffled her feet a little bit.
Now, if I'd have told you with no Nelson-Ododa and no, et cetera, like we've talked tonight, that AZ Fudd would have 4 points and be 0 for 5 from 3, you'd look at this scoreline and say, no. Foul inside.
But that's how good this team can be. Not one, one player doesn't have to play heroically. You know, they've got a bunch of injuries on the bench, and everyone just has to do their part.
Deja Church shooting. The foul was on Kristen Williams. Let's check with Maria.
To the point Meg was just making, I asked assistant coach Morgan Valley, as a former player, also with experience coaching elsewhere, about UConn's situation this season with all the injuries. She said you just got to do what you can with who's on the floor and hope when people come back, everyone is stronger. But she added that it's not just on one player to carry the team. Everyone has to play better collectively, and that's typically what UConn basketball is.
And that's what we've seen tonight.
Flood shot blocked by Morrow, who's out ahead of the pack. Mule in full retreat. Contests the shot, and it misses.
And unfortunately, that's just been the way the night has gone for DePaul.
That last foul not on Kristen Williams. It was on Dorka Juhas. Apologies. But that's just her first on the night. 10 to shoot. Juhas blocked by Morrow or fouled by Morrow. That'll be her fourth.
Juhas has done a sensational job of establishing position and posting up down low. And see, she just got by her. The only option is to foul.
And no hesitation at the move, right?
Yeah,
when that ball
such
came in,
confidence.
she knew where she was going with it. And the result is Dorka Juhas is shooting free throws. A graduate transfer from Pech, Hungary. Now 22 points, 8 rebounds for Juhas tonight. She'll head for the bench to a nice round of applause from the Gamble crowd.
Hey, well earned.
And Aaliyah Edwards comes back into the ball game for UConn. Another one who's had a sensational night tonight. Here's held. Gets the screen from Morrow, throws it up and missed everything. They're going to say that was deflected by AZ Fudd, and it'll be DePaul's basketball. That'll be knocked out of bounds by Mule. 11 seconds to shoot. And Doug Bruno sure seems frustrated at his team's lack of execution even on these inbounds plays, huh?
Yeah, it's just been a frustrating night all around for DePaul. And I think you have to give UConn a lot of credit for being disruptive on the defensive end.
Like that from Avina Westbrook, who got beat by Kiera Collier, but kept after it and knocked the ball away and out of bounds. Edwards will steal the inbound pass. Westbrook to Williams, and the unselfish pass and bucket.
And that's the first thing I noticed. Westbrook could have shot it. Very unselfishly dished it to her teammate.
18 for Kristen Williams now. Held into Morrow. Up over Edwards.
Terrific defense, though, by Edwards. You don't want to commit a foul. Make her shoot, make her make a tough shot over you, and Morrow did.
That's 18 points now. 18 and 14 for the freshman Morrow for DePaul.
So if she hasn't made a three tonight, otherwise she would have shot that.
Westbrook knocks the ball away off of the hands of Deja Church. It'll be UConn basketball. Avina Westbrook may not be lighting up the scoreboard tonight, but she has had the hustle on in this one.
Yeah, I mean, she's impacted the game.
A lot of energy off the bench for Westbrook for the Huskies in this one. Edwards by Morrow, bounced it off the side of the rim.
Terrific take, just couldn't finish.
Held from outside the three-point line and gets it. Kind of puts this look on her face like finally.
She was just relieved that something finally went right for her tonight.
It's 1 of 7 from 3 and 2 of 12 overall for Lexi Held. She averages 14 points a game. Ball knocked away from Edwards by Morrow. Now Flood from the corner. No. But nobody there for the rebound. Edwards with the soft 2. No. And Kristen Williams hustles in for the offensive board. To shoot. Mule driving in and gets away from Held in the bucket.
Another beautifully executed offensive possession as the shot clock was winding down.
Holmes cut off aggressively by Flood. There's Morrow. Defended by Mule. That'll be knocked out of bounds, and it will be off of UConn. Let's check out your Take It to the Rim moment brought to you by Dunkin'. There have been a lot of them tonight. What have we selected? Westbrook, Williams, and now Nika Mule strong to the basket.
Nice strong take and good finish.
Held misses another long one. Piaf Gabriel into the ball game for UConn, and that nice round of applause while we were looking at our Take It to the Rim moment for Aaliyah Edwards, who goes to the bench after her best game of the season. Westbrook drives and scores.
Nice strong take by Westbrook.
Church. Collier tomorrow outside the three-point line, gets Gabriel off her feet and goes in and scores.
That's just Gabriel not having the experience. You don't want to lunge at Morrow at the three-point line. Let her shoot it.
Lisa Morrow, 20 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 fouls. And certainly UConn, at both ends of the floor, brought the physicality to the paint tonight. 5 to shoot. Williams drives, off glass, no. Gabriel with the rebound, no. Another chance, and misses that one. Held. No, short on everything. They just feel bad for Lexi Held in a way, because she's a really good player, and she's just had a really tough night tonight.
It happens. It does happen to the best players.
2 minutes to go in the ball game here at Gamble Pavilion. Williams guarded by Collier. Shot clock at 5. Looking for a screen, not going to get it. Gabriel's trying to post up. So the turnaround, no, yes.
She's thinking, I might as well get that home roll on my home court.
16 points in the second half for Kristen Williams tonight. Substitutions being brought into the ball game for DePaul. That's the reason for the stoppage. They'll bring number 1 Kiki Rimmer into the ball game. And Lexi Held will go to the bench after a tough night. Deja Church also done for the night, it would appear. Church with 17 points, second high scorer for the Blue Demons. Collier cut off Morrow from outside. Gabriel had dropped her hands, but the shot misses, and Kristen Williams with the rebound. Timeout for UConn subs. And Amari DeBerry comes into the ball game. Every active player into the ball game tonight. AZ Fudd leaves to a nice hand from the UConn crowd. Should be some fun thoughts with Gary Apple and Kara Walters with their full recap of tonight's game. We'll also hear Gino Auriemma's post-game news conference on the UConn women's basketball post-game show presented by Geico, coming up right after the game. Going to be an offensive foul on Piath Gabriel.
Gino can live with that, being a little too aggressive down there. That's okay.
Best described by using a different sports terminology. That was a hip check. We get down to the final minute of the ball game. Shot from outside for Holmes. No. Fight for the rebound. And there's going to be a push called on Avita Westbrook as Anissa Morrow went down hard. No, they're going to call out on DeBerry. Okay. That'll be her first. And get her on the score sheet tonight. Blue Demons average 90 a game. Held to 60 tonight as we get to the final minute here at Gamble. Below their low for the season so far. UConn, they average 72 a game on the offensive end, and that'll be turned over to the Huskies. They've put up 84 on DePaul. So now the long, difficult grind of the Big East schedule, let alone the non-conference games, continues as the Huskies travel to Marquette on Sunday for a nationally televised road game.
Yeah,
and
DePaul,
that's always a slugfest.
Yeah, it is. And then DePaul flies out tonight to get down to Georgetown.
Call an offensive foul there.
And the problem is, Gabriel didn't do anything wrong. She was just standing there, and the kid tripped over her leg.
So half a minute to go. This is DePaul's lowest score output since February 23rd, now 2 years ago, 2020, when they scored 58 against Villanova on the road. That'll be UConn basketball. And so shot clock is off, 23 seconds to go in the ball game. A 24-point lead for the Huskies. Meg, if there's a way to sum up what we saw tonight, what are your thoughts?
You know, I guess I would say I'm stunned that UConn played this well. I'm stunned that DePaul played the way they did, but UConn's got to be really happy with the effort they put forth. Collectively, they played some outstanding basketball without some of their key players.
And now 1,044 games without back-to-back losses. The streak continues for Gino Auriemma and this UConn squad. Aaliyah Edwards with 19, Dorka Juhas with 22, and Kristen Williams with 20 lead the way on the scoreboard for the Huskies. AZ Fudd, while she may not have put the points up tonight, had 6 rebounds for UConn. That is her season high on the glass. And your final from Gamble tonight, UConn 84 and DePaul 60. Now time for tonight's player of the game presented by Cadillac. I think this is a great pick. Dorka Juhas tonight. Season high in points. Made a couple from outside. Look at the rebounds, the assists. Just really a terrific game all around for the grad transfer. Dorka Juhas, our player of the game. Maria Marino is with Gino.
Coach, we know it's been a crazy season. This week in particular has been so up and down. How do you describe how your team has adapted?
Well,
Yeah, it's been one thing after another all season, you know, and you know, we've had to just kind of figure it out on the run. You know, you don't really get a week off, you know, where you can kind of just relax, and it's a game every other day. And coming off of Friday's effort, you know, which I thought was really poor on our part, I thought today's effort was amazing, and I'm so happy with the way we responded.
Quite a bounce back for your bigs, specifically Dorka Juhas, Aaliyah Edwards. What did you like out of them?
Well, they knew they were going to be in a tough fight. You know, their big kids are really tough, and they get a lot of their points inside, and they rebound the heck out of it. And I thought the two of them really were just terrific. You know, we controlled the lane for the most part of the game, and our defense set up everything. So I'm really, really happy for them. They worked really, really hard yesterday and today to get ready for today.
And no time to rest. Marquette up next. You haven't seen them yet. What kind of challenge will they give?
Completely different than the game today and the game Friday. They're big and they're physical and they're tough at home. So yeah, it's a different challenge every day in the Big East. You know what kind of team you're going to play. But after tomorrow, we get 5 days for our next game, so it's going to feel like a month.
Right, and today's Friday. All the days are just blending together, Coach.
That's right. Thank you.
Hi, Maria. Well, a lot of feel-good tonight inside Gamble Pavilion. Big crowd, full student section, great performance by the UConn Huskies. Dorka Juhas leading the way for the home squad.